Hi everybody, John Nesbitt with the Customer Factory here, and I've got something that is especially for you guys who are going into becoming, either you are or are going to becoming integrated marketing, which means you're doing more than just chiropractic. You're going to be moving kind of more into a medical sort of practice mode. Maybe you're teaming up with an MD and you're moving into a wider realm. And I want to point out that when you do this, you actually need to go ahead and shift your marketing as well, because you're changing the face that you're putting towards the public, like the name, but you're also interfacing with the public at a different level. You were one type of entity before, a chiropractic office, and now you're becoming another kind of entity over here, a medical office, right? And there's a vast difference of public perception between those two, which is honestly why a lot of guys do transfer from chiropractic and then integrate so they can then kind of have this medical moniker and the chiropractic philosophy at the same time. If you ask me, it's actually the best of both worlds, and it's probably, actually, it's definitely the future of healthcare. I can't imagine it going any other way. All right. However, I'm going to cover in this video a couple of things you need to know if you're making that transition, or you've made the transition, you've had any trouble with your marketing, getting new patients in. I'm going to maybe explain to you why that is. All right. Now, the first fundamental change that's happening is you're going from marketing a category of chiropractic, which is a solution, a treatment, to marketing ailments. For example, right now as a chiropractor, you're going out and saying, well, chiropractor can help you with this, chiropractor can help you with this, chiropractor can help you with that thing over there too. You're actually pushing a treatment option as a solution to many different items, right? Even back pain, you're still saying chiropractic is what you want, right? You're leading with that, with the category it's called in marketing. When you go to medical, medical is sort of an established category. You don't have to tell people, hey, go to a doctor. People go to a doctor. It's kind of baked into the culture that we have. It's baked into how people think. So you don't have to say, oh yeah, you need to go see a medical person for that, right? They go, yeah, I know. The question the public usually has is, why should I go to you, right? Can you help me with what I need? Which practitioner is best for me, not should I go to one, right? That's a very key difference. So the public already start at this level of awareness, where with chiropractic, they're down here. With medical, they're up here. So what you want to go in and start talking to people is what they've been conditioned to hear about. Pain, right? When you talk about people's health care, you start with their pain, their complaint. You don't run out there and run an ad that says, hey, I've got stem cells, or hey, I've got decompression, or I've got whatever you've got. You don't run with the treatment first. Too many guys I want more decompression cases. No, you want more sciatica cases or back pain cases, right? Where someone is coming in for that kind of pain that you can then treat with decompression. That's the way the medical model works. Look, it's been billions of dollars of advertising over decades to teach people that when something hurts is when you go to the doctor. You don't go to the doctor for wellness. Like, you're not going to be preaching wellness necessarily with the medical model. You can to some degree, but not like you were in the chiropractic. You're going to be preaching like, oh, do you have this pain? Good, we treat that. You don't even have to tell them how you're planning on treating it in your marketing. You don't even have to tell them. You just go, oh yeah, I handle foot pain. Come on in. Oh good, a doctor who handles foot pain. They're not asking themselves, well, I wonder what kind of procedure he has or whatever. Some will. And you'll hear about it from those guys, and they'll ask you, and that's okay. But most of your people, they'll just come right on in. Oh, this is a doctor who handles that pain. Remember, people have been conditioned for decades that, oh, I have a pain, go get me the fix, problem handled, right? Now, once you get them in front of you, you can do all the education with them and teach them how, yeah, this pain is the symptom of something that happened earlier, and that whole thing, and the light bulb will go on in their head, and suddenly we have a new convert to the medically integrated chiropractic world, right? But you can't do that in the marketing. You also can't go too far in trying to explain things in the marketing. Too many guys try to do this. They start the sales process, the patient care process in the marketing. Well, here's our campaign, here's our thing, we do this, and we treat it this way because of this, and they start explaining everything in the landing page or on the web page or in the marketing, and people read that and their eyes just sort of glaze over and they go, I don't know, maybe he's good, maybe. They don't understand. Most people don't understand if you tell it to them. You're sitting there talking to somebody, maybe you're sitting across the table from them somewhere, and you're explaining to them how this stuff works, and they still don't really get it. Do you really expect them to be able to self-study on your website or on your landing page and have a cognition and come to a full understanding that this is what they need and show up with money in their hand? It doesn't work that way. Now, with chiropractic, it kind of used to for you. As a chiropractor, you'd say, hey, I'm the chiropractor in town, and they're all the 10% or so people who are already pre-sold on chiropractic. All they need is a chiropractor. They just, oh, where's the chiropractor? That's the one I want, right? You don't do marketing for medical the same way. The last big point I'm going to hit is you got to look medical. Now, this is something that guys kind of bristle with because you're used to, chiropractic is sort of like a rebel outreach on medical. You don't have to obey all their rules because some of the rules are stupid in the traditional medical world, right? Yeah, you kind of pride yourself on being different from those guys. However, when you decided to kind of step into the medical world and take that authority that they have and that pre-built equity that they have for medical, you also have to sort of play the part in your marketing. Doesn't mean you got to be fake. But for example, and a lot of people are going to turn the video off in a second when I say this. It means medical people have lab coats. Okay, now don't turn off the video. I'm not saying you got to wear a lab coat in your office all over the place. But I'm saying if somebody sees a medical ad and they mention the doctor, they show the doctor, they kind of expect the doctor just culturally to have a lab coat. Right? That's just sort of what they expect to see. That's what they've been conditioned to see. And doctors, actually MDs, ask an MD friend of yours, anybody who practices as an MD, if it's easier to close people when they're wearing their lab coat or not. They find they get a higher close rate and a much better level of patient compliance when they just put on the costume and walk in there and talk to the patient with the lab coat on. A doctor without a lab coat is sort of missing something to the public's mind. Now, whether that's valid or not doesn't matter. When you're dealing with marketing, you're dealing with what the public's perception is versus what you're going to have to do to talk to them to get them in front of you. Remember, the whole thing is you just want to present yourself out there as the solution that they are looking for, because you are the solution that they're looking for. Once they get in and see you, then you have all the time you need to make your full case, show them how you are different, explain everything to them until they go, wow, this is genius, and they have the same realization that we all had somewhere along the line. Okay? So those are the main points if you're looking to do medical chiropractic. Now, I'm going to be releasing a larger kind of probably a guide on this whole thing. There's so much to talk about. I'm going to put that out there. So around this video, you'll probably find a place you can actually download that guide, or if it's not out yet, you'll just stay on my mailing list and you'll get it. I'm just going to send out to everybody who's thinking about being medically integrated or who has already integrated, because it's a different ball game, and I want you guys to get as much result out of your marketing as possible. See you next time.